Just left Mount Cooke. It's my usual time, about 10 o'clock in the morning I think. Off to Nerang today. But before I get there, I have one last bloody great hill to climb. Mount Cooke. It's the biggest one in the Darling Ranges, and in their infinite wisdom they've decided to take the track right over the top of it. The only good side is when I get to the top it's all downhill from there on. I'm getting there. It's cold, it's raining, everything's wet, the rocks are slippery. It's about now that you remember that not a month ago some poor lady was lifted off this hill by a helicopter with a broken leg. Still climbing. The weather's coming in worse. The higher I get, the more mist and cloud come over. The book of Bibbulmun instructions says not to climb this hill in bad weather because visibility can get down to 20 meters on a really bad day. I don't think I'll have that problem. And anyway, it's too late. I'm here now. Can't be far. Then we're on the downward slope. I'm there, I made it. The top of Mount Cooke. At the top is this rather magnificent cairn, and you cannot come this far up without your own tiny contribution. So there's mine. They promised me a view. I ain't got one. I'm surrounded by cloud. At least it's not raining. I've screwed up. Signage at the top of Mount Cooke is not particularly clear, and I took what I thought was the obvious path to the right of the cairn. Turns up I ended up well and truly off track. I put Bella down, she's resting for a minute or two with a rain jacket on, overlooking this quite frankly magnificent view, and I've got to go and find out where the hell I went wrong. Okay, I'm back. Just as I thought, I should have gone left at the cairn, not right. It was a little bit more overgrown, but soon cleared out into what is obviously the path. Now it either means I've got to go all the way back up there, which is a hell of a struggle. I've done a little recce. I think I can fight my way through there and join the path. If I fall and break a leg, helicopter will come and get me. Back on the right track. Not only have I got goggles, I've got cairns as well. Let's try not to do that again. I've just come down that. It's as slippery as all hell. Lucky I didn't break a leg and a hip. Now I've come across this. Just doesn't seem right, but you've got to follow the woggle. This is bloody dangerous. I've just spent the last 250 meters coming down this granite outcrop. It's very wet and it's very slippery. I've nearly gone over my ass at least 4 times. I've half twisted my ankle. I don't know whether it's my boots or what. Tyler's following me, he's having the same trouble. Thank Christ I didn't have to go up it. From the sublime to the ridiculous. This is called Powerline Road. I can't think why. Seems like it goes on for ages. I've just looked at the map. Been going for nearly 3 hours. I've only gone 5k's. Singularly depressing. Hopefully, now that it flattens out a bit, I should speed up. Weather's clearing up. Blue skies in the background. It doesn't look like rain right now, but I can't stop and take the raincoat off. There's nowhere to put my bag down. Maybe I'll find somewhere later and have some lunch. See what comes up. I can't believe how long this road is. I've been on the same road, it seems like for hours, and it's just going nowhere. I'm assuming I haven't missed the camp. I surely haven't, but I'm trying to crack on a fair old pace, but it's never ending. Campsite is in sight. I thought I would never get here. So just up there, you can see it through the trees. I know I'm not alone here tonight. Tyler, who I met at Mount Cooke this morning, is ahead of me, and we'll be bunking down there tonight as well. I'm just glad to be here. Okay, this is Nerang. I got here last night and opened the book to do my logging in to find a note to Rob. It's a gorgeous note. I love it dearly. I'm going to treasure it. It's from Sabrina, the Fire Queen. Hoping I enjoyed my time at Sullivan's, enjoying a campfire and wishing me a safe rest of the trip. It's little moments like that that make this trip. Today I'm off to Gringer Creek. Tyler, who was here last night, has left about 15 minutes ago. He's young and tall and fit and healthy and will no doubt get there in half the time I will. The only good thing about it, it's all flat. 16.5 kilometers of flat territory. No mountains today. Weather is overcast. It is going to rain. Bella's over there. She's dressed in her wet weather gear. I will put mine on in a minute, which means regardless we're going to have a sweaty trip. I've been going exactly 2.5 hours and done exactly 9 kilometers. How do I know that? Because this is the Serpentine River. Are we sure? Absolutely. I took my rain jacket off a couple of k's back. It's starting to clear up and I was getting wetter from sweating from the jacket than I was from any raindrops. So that's gone. I'm only just over halfway to Gringer Creek. So for only the second time I'm going to try and find somewhere to stop, take Bella off and have a lunch break. Let's see if we can find somewhere. Well, I've had to walk on another 20 minutes, so probably about 1 kilometre before I could finally find something suitable to rest Bella on, so I could take her off and put her back on again with relative ease. I'll give myself a 20-minute break, have a bit of a lunch, and then do the second half of the trip. Most of the walk is undertaken alone, but it was nice to have company now and again, and on this section of the track I had the company of some older ladies. It's about half an hour after I had lunch and the weather has got decidedly worse. Temperature's dropping like a stone, the clouds are rolling in and the wind's rising. I've just been hit by a shower, so I've had to redon the wet weather outfit. Fortunately, I found a convenient log with which to do so. Looks like the rest of the trip can be a bit wet. I am very nearly at Gringer Creek. Whilst it hasn't been the slog of the last 2 days coming over the mountain hills, 16.5 k's. Still been hard work with a heavy bag. It is getting lighter, but it's still a heavy bag. Tyler will be at Gringer Creek again tonight. In fact, he will be planned to be with me every night up until we get to Dwellingup on Friday. He's having awful trouble with his feet. They're wet, they're blistered, they're sore. But he's carrying on. I can see the hut in the distance. It's just peeking through. You cannot imagine the relief seeing the shelter after a hard day's slog. Here it is down there, you can see it. This is Gringer Creek shelter. Spent the night here last night with Tyler again. I'll be with him for the next 3 days. He's going to Dwellingup, one hutting all the way, so he and I will be walking in parallel. He's faster than me and ahead of me, so I won't see him on the track. Kerry was also here. She's travelling north. She came from White Horse Hills yesterday and she has just left. It's just turned 9 o'clock, so I'm actually an hour earlier than I normally am, but I've got 16.5 k's to go today. Now I've done a 16.5 k before, but this time I've got two bloody great hills in between me and White Horse Hills. It's a beautiful day at the minute. It's cool, the skies are blue. Hopefully it's going to stay that way. One interesting thing about this shelter is that not a kilometre down the road, there's a little path there. I don't know if you can see the sign there. North Bannister Roadhouse. You can, in fact, if you want to, take a kilometre walk down to what is essentially a petrol station and get some snacks and drinks if you want to. I don't want or need anything, so I didn't bother. I've been going from Gringer Creek for about 45 minutes and I'm 2.5 k's in, and I've come to a very special place on the track. Before I undertook this challenge, I went to a lecture by the Bibbulmun Foundation for people proposing to do the end-to-end trek. It was very good, and at that presentation there were the usual questions of people worrying about snakes, spiders, ticks, viruses, mosquitoes, lions, dragons, that sort of thing. And the guy was very good and he addressed all those concerns, but he said, quite frankly, you don't need to worry about all that lot. He said, rather than getting bitten by a snake, you are far more likely to get killed crossing the Albany Highway by a truck than anything else. This is the Albany Highway. So by that logic, I'm just about to undertake the most dangerous part of this journey. Phew, made it. Rest should be a doddle now. Okay, been going an hour, 4 k's in, so I'm not making bad time at all at this stage. Bit of a difference here. To my left we have a blue gum plantation. Neat rows of trees planted for harvesting, and to my right, natural bush. The same, just a bit different. I'm another K down the road. It's all been this road, very boring. But I have to say, this is the first patch of open greenery I've seen in the last nearly 2 weeks. It's very nice. Yet another K down that road. Still the same road. And that noise that you may have been hearing getting louder and louder in the background is apparent. I don't know if you can see through the trees there. Yeah, the machinery harvesting the blue gum plantation that we saw earlier on. Just over here through the trees I can start to see the hills I've got to climb in a minute. Here's what a plantation looks like after you've logged it. I'm at 7.5 k's. I've at long last come off of that long dreary road, and with the plantation harvesting in the background I now start to ascend the hill. It's the best part of 2 k's to the top, and it's going to kill me, but the only way is over it, so here we go. I'm about halfway up. I've come into this little clearing and I'm looking at what I've got to get up next. That bloody thing. Descended from the hill. I'm 3.5 hours in, 10 k's into the trip, 6 to go. I'm now down in the valley and I've got another hill to climb to the camp. Time for some lunch. Back on a fire break road, just what I always enjoy. Okay, I'm nearly there. I'm about 2.5 k's out. Trouble is, it's all uphill from now. Just to rub salt into the wounds, we have to finish on top of a hill. Almost at the top. Less than a k to go to camp. At least the view's good. It was less than a 20-minute walk to the camp, and all of it downhill, but I couldn't resist stopping for half an hour and having a little fun with the camera. Join me again for part 6, when my luck finally begins to run out and I run into some serious trouble.